So I interrupt your scrolling to bring you this current energy, future energy timeline update. And it was off the back of a post I shared, I think last week. And I said it was just like a colored background, sort of one liner. And I really felt the energy. And this is why I shared it. And I said, without denying any of what's currently unfolding on this planet and the upcoming challenges, I know and see that the future of Earth is so amazing. You'd be dancing down the street if you knew what was ahead. And I shared that because as I was online, I was seeing so much doom and gloom around all the kind of issues that are coming up to the forefront, in this country, in England, where I am, in the UK, and other places as well, worldwide. And I was just seeing so much like dystopian stuff, right? So I shared this because I can really see where we're headed. It's something I think that the Arcturians are very equipped to do. We see very kind of in terms of timelines. And so some beautiful soul commented in there saying, tell us what you're seeing. I kind of know it's going to be good, but I'm curious, what is it that you're seeing? So I thought I would just hop on and just share just just a little bit about what I am seeing so that you can, I'm going to say it activates your remembrance because you already know this. It's just that with the energies on the planet, it's very easy to forget. So I'm not really sharing anything that you don't really know deep within, even if it feels like it's new information. You already know this. So my job is just to share this so that you can receive it and not tap into these lower frequency, fear-based, divide and conquer narratives and timelines that are being constructed right now, and we need to be aware. So before I just jump into just an overview of what I see, I just want to speak very quickly around the current timeline, because the current timeline right now, as I'm recording this, where are we? We are September. I sometimes have to think where we are in the year. We're September 2025, and a lot has happened this year. And where I am in the world, we have a lot of stuff coming up at the moment around the country, who's in the country, who's coming into the country, what's going to happen in certain communities. There's a lot of energy, and my purpose for this video isn't to get into the politics of it, although I'm not saying politics is separate to spirituality and what's going on here, but I'm not getting into the narrative of it because there's so much more to it than is obvious, right, to most people. But it's the energetics that are coming up that people are getting very, very riled up, right? So whatever your opinion is, and you're always welcome to share in the comments, but I would appreciate if we didn't get into a debate here in the comments because it's not the purpose of this video anyway. So there's a lot of people getting, rightly so as well, in many pockets, like aggravated by what they're seeing in their communities for different reasons. And of course there are different things happening, but what it's doing energetically, it's bringing up so much density, a lot of fear, a lot of division. It's bringing up the hate. You're seeing the entities that are attached to people really coming out. You can see that sometimes through videos and people's energies when they're just like disconnected, they're not in their humanity. And so even outside of this issue, I'm talking about the general timeline right now. Wherever you are in the world listening to this, it's very dense. There's a lot of tension. And I'm not an astrology expert in any way, but I know astrologically speaking, there is a lot of interesting, insane things going on, very intense things that have been moving through 2025. And at the beginning of 2025, I channeled an Arcturian kind of guidance on the themes of the year. And the themes are spot on. There was a lot of talk of chaos. They shared that there'll be uprisings, anger, fear, all of this stuff that we're really starting to see now. So the reason I'm sharing this is because even though the density is here and it is looking like an absolute shit show in certain parts of the world, Arcturians and angelic realms, we're here. We're not, they're just sharing, prompting me to share this. They're not here. We're not here to dismiss any of that or to pretend it's not happening or to gloss over it. There is a very real thing that's happening on this planet, and it is not an easy time. This is bringing up challenges for everybody, me included, every single person here. So we're all navigating according to what's coming up in our lives. So it's really a reminder, the purpose of this is to remind you that do not subscribe to this current energy as being the way that this planet is headed, because it is so inaccurate, right? And you cannot talk about political things legal things, educational things, anything in our world without understanding the energetics. The energetics is the most important thing of all the things. So, what is happening, and I've shared this since 2020, yeah, and yeah, since 2020, even before I was consciously channeling, this was a message that they brought through me, was that there is a necessity to clear the earth of the structures, right? The structures that are here are so terrible. They are not for the benefit of humanity. The earth is ascending. So, of course, we're going to bring up like the wrecking ball. We're going to wreck these structures. Everything's going to get a shake up, right? So, expect that we're going to see a lot of chaos. Ascension, that some people teach, perhaps I've seen, certain circles, that ascension is new earth is here and I'm tapped into the frequency. And, if you just believe it, you can be in the frequency and you're not 5D yet, but I'm 5D and all of this stuff, right? Well, I tell you, ascension is gritty. Ascension is real, it's raw, it's got growing pains, it's beautiful, it's magical, but I'm never here to say that, oh, just ascend and everything's fine. There are going to be things that come up. So, collectively, what we're doing is we're shining a massive light. There's never been a time where there's been more light on the planet. But the consequences of that is that we are going to see the thick, dark, sludgy stuff from the corners of the room, the moldy bits, the unwanted bits. They're going to come up. And this stuff has been brewing on the planet. So, this is why we do not need to subscribe to just because things are the way they are. Oh my God, we're on a dystopian timeline. Oh my God, we're on an AI takeover timeline. We're going to see echoes, we're going to see remnants. That's all part of the energetics. But my job in this transmission is really to bring some fire to you, bring some safety, some groundedness, some trust that yes, we're going to go through things. Yes, we're going to see some crazy shit in this lifetime. Absolutely insane stuff, especially with the AI. All sorts of things are going to be different. We're going to have to choose what we want to do. We're going to choose what to opt in and opt out of. We're going to always be choosing. So unless we are physically held down and forced to do something, then we are choosing. We are choosing all the time, even if you feel you're under pressure. We saw that in 2021, right, with certain injectables. Many people felt that they were forced. And my heart goes out to you or to anyone who felt that and took that substance into their body. There's lots of clearing and healing going on now, which is wonderful for many. But reminding you really that we are choosing. We are choosing. We're always choosing. So we don't have to subscribe to these narratives. What is the answer to some of this chaos? I don't know. I don't know, because we're co-creating, we're shifting through these timelines. And even when I channel on it and I'm like, what do we need to do? What's the thing? And a lot of it is we have to walk the path. It's like, how do you get your toddler child out of this terrible twos, screaming, crying? You can't go to a restaurant, you can't go anywhere, they're screaming and crying. How do you get out of that? You have to just ride that wave. You have to just allow that growth period, and then that toddler starts to move into another phase, and then it becomes fun again, it becomes joyful again, right? Same with the teenage years. For those of you who are parenting or are going to or have parented teenagers, or you have been a teenager, we know that the teenage phase isn't love and light and parties and joy. It's challenging, it's funny, it's hilarious, and it's interesting, but it's challenging as well. It's just very unstable, right? So we can't bypass this. We have to move through it. But the most important thing is to understand the future trajectory. So this is where I want to share that the earth is headed into the most incredible way of being that we have known for a very, very long time. And the way that I see it and the way that I know it is that it isn't, I don't even really subscribe much to the new earth. I understand the energy behind it, but to me, it really feels like it isn't new. It's kind of deception, maybe, to tell us that we've never had good things on this planet. We had incredible things on this planet. We were in a frequency, as many of you know, right? As many of you know, I'm diving into the whole Atlantis thing at the moment. I'm doing a lot of healing around the trauma that happened with the downfall of that civilization that I was connected with. Many of you are also connected. And so I'm doing a lot of healing and connecting and activating into that time. And so what's coming through me now is to share with you that you, most likely, if you're listening to this transmission, you were there, you were part of this. So we know deep within our souls that there is a way of being on this planet that is so beautiful. It's it will feel from where we are now very advanced and futuristic, but actually it isn't. It's ancient, it's original. It's our original way of being here on the planet that we were able to tap into back then. So this includes beautiful things of healing. So we're going to see as we move through. We never know when because it's going to take a while. It's not overnight. None of this, but we are going to bring in a timeline, the future timeline of absolute beautiful health, beautiful food, growing our own food again. We're going to come out of all of this chemical packaged crap that is just products put into packaging and given to us because we're these lower class beings as far as certain entities are concerned. And we're going to come out of that. So we're going to see chaos in our food systems at some point, right? It's understandable. How do we get to the good stuff unless we dismantle what we've got? So expect chaos. I find comfort and relief in that. If I know there's going to be chaos, I can just breathe, I can relax and go, there's chaos. There's chaos. I'm just going to bend. I'm going to be flexible. I'm going to trust. I'm going to ask my team to guide me, and you can do the same. So it's just that humans sometimes in the human form get very stuck in, we need to know, we need to have certainty. Well, the certainty is that there's going to be uncertainty. So if you get really comfortable with that, you're going to have an easier ride. You're really going to have an easier ride. And I will, as I'm sharing that, kind of note to myself to show up more and share updates and things, because I haven't been doing that as much as I have wanted. But that's okay. We're all partly moving through the journey, right? But just know that we are headed into this wonderful way of being, where you being an empath is just so normal, right? Imagine a world, and this is how I see it, a world where we are so connected. We're not in our heads all the time, we're in our hearts. We're intelligent, we're highly intelligent beings, but it doesn't come from the head, it comes from the higher heart. The higher mind is in the higher heart. So we are walking around and we're being with each other and we're loving. We've gone past the phase of killing each other that is so basic, right? So basic. Let's not kill each other anymore. Wars don't exist because the profitable mechanism that houses that has just dismantled, right? We don't have people in charge. We don't have governments set up the way we have. We don't have a new world order government either, by the way, which is not about unity. That's about bullshit. We have beautiful communities that are serving the people, right? We're connected. We're living in harmony. We don't have to live in big communes and hold hands and clap around a fire unless you want to. I say that because that's not really my kind of vibe, right? And I used to have this fear of, oh, I don't really want to live like that. But no, that's just a kind of idea. Where I'm getting this from is through my connections with the Arcturians, and I'm part of the Arcturian consciousness. We have a way of being there that is so advanced, and many star systems have this. But Arcturus is a prototype for Earth, which makes a lot of sense why the Arcturians are so connected, and we want to help heal the planet, and we want to help people grow and ascend and evolve and activate and all these things. So we know from that perspective that like what Earth can do, and Earth can live in this beautiful harmony. It can also include amazing technologies, because it doesn't mean, a lot of people feel that going it back into original Earth energies means we almost have to go back into old times where everything was hard, like you've got to, everything has to be made from scratch and it's like long and laborious. Actually, there is a way to be very connected using technological advancements, because Arcturians are very equipped with technologies. But this kind of technology that will become available to us later, not yet. This is not the version that we have yet, but we will have a technology that is so advanced, and it is such a beautiful high frequency energy. It is here to assist us, and it's going to make our lives so much easier. But I repeat, that is not the technology that we have now, despite some of the assurances by people that this is what we have. No, we are not in receipt of that higher advanced technology yet, because the consciousness on the planet isn't there yet. We we can't even hold this. We're not ready, and that's okay. That's okay. This is coming though. So we're going to have these most amazing things. We're going to be able to heal ourselves in ways that we've always been able to do, but then we're ready to do. We're going to be able to, our healthcare won't even look like what it looks like now. Amazing nutrition, the educations are going to change. We're not going to, our education system will look nothing like we have now. It's ridiculous what we have now. It is limited and programmed, and that actually detrimental to the human. We're going to have beautiful programs and education in a holistic way. What this will look like is that children, especially when they're young, they will be this idea that you've got to take a child and put them into math, English, science, geography, history, languages, art, physical education, religious education, or whatever, and give all these subjects to children is so stupid. It's so stupid. It doesn't work. It's very, very, very old, silly, basic way. It's so stupid. So how advanced beings do it, they understand that the soul comes in with a knowing of what we're here to bring in for that lifetime, and so we cultivate our natural abilities and our natural preferences. So each soul, as children know exactly what it is that they love and exactly what they do not love. So if you have a child that is really scientific and they're just doing little experiments and for fun and they love it, brilliant. Put them into the science class. They're going to thrive. They're going to be like brilliant minds of the future. They're going to bring in goodness knows what to help humanity. But if that child has no interest in that and they are drawn to painting, right, or creating music, allowing them to explore that and develop that, because their soul knows exactly what they're here for. And this is where our education system is stupid. So in the future, we will have, I'm going to call it like soul driven education. It will be the soul that drives what the learning is. And then, of course, there's room to develop and grow in areas because we know what it is we're here to do. Maybe we've learned a whole load of mathematics, let's say, in another lifetime. That soul maybe has come in to continue that work, or maybe it's come in to have a different experience. So we need to honor that. And this is why the biggest thing of all is the consciousness. The future timeline is going to have this consciousness where what the things that I share about energies, the stuff that might feel like a bit out there, right now, or talking about the energetics, the unseen, there's going to be a time on the future timeline that is so basic. You wouldn't get anybody doing a video like this, right? Or talking about any of these. It would be so silly. So we're going to get to the point where the consciousness is so expanded. You're no longer going to feel, if you were here, you were no longer going to feel weird within your friendship circles for being connected, right? And having your inner world. It won't be a world of extroverts. This whole thing, I'm just drifting off a little bit, but this whole thing about introverts and extroverts, that could be another video, but that is just such a program, there's so much more to it, because we're sort of taught that the extroverted energy is the one that we all should be, the bubbly, outgoing, sociable, telling the jokes at the party, and that's what we should all be. But that's just a program. That's a very specific energy type. And many energy types are made differently. If you met me in a social situation, depending on the social situation, I could be very sociable and speaking to lots of people, or I could be very quiet and just having a one-to-one. Typically, I'm more quiet. And I would be getting into a one-to-one with someone on deep conversation and really like intriguing subjects, right, and having a laugh. I wouldn't be the one telling the jokes around the table. I just wouldn't. But that's okay if you are. But we're all like learning our own energy types. So this division between extrovert and introvert, that's not there. We have this connection. We have this ability to read each other's energies. So can you imagine how beautiful that is? You have no more misunderstandings between you around, you said this, I said this, you meant this, I meant this. We have an energetic, so you can understand the resonance. Some of you already have this going on now. It's very frustrating to be around people that don't, right? But you have a resonance. You can feel someone's energy, whether or not they use the right words or say the right thing. Maybe they say the weirdest thing, but you understand the frequency. So you have that connection. And then we have this beautiful world where, everything's thriving, even the colors, when I tap into it, it's like we've got color again. It's so gray. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in England and currently the sky is gray when it shouldn't be. But the whole world, the architecture is going back into that beautiful, I'm going to say like elegant, intricate, expressive, you know, I'm sure many of you will have the words right for that better than I'm saying, but that kind of beautiful, yeah, expressive energy instead of these like weird, ugly buildings. Um, they're trying to take us backwards, which is bullshit. So we've got so much beauty. Beauty is coming through, and just ways of like breathing. The air will be clearer. It's a long road to get there. It isn't that that's going to happen, in the next 6 months or anything. This is also going to go on beyond our lifetimes here. So what I want to tune you into right now on this part is your mission. We are not going to see the whole earth completely transform into what I've said in like the next few years or anything. This will be a whole process and evolution. You can't rush it. But we are doing such significant things. What you're now going to be feeling as a result of these energies that I spoke about, it's everything's getting stirred up. It looks like it's darker, but it isn't. It's just the shit's coming up. In order to move down the timeline I just spoke of, this amazing future with incredible, fun, exciting innovations, right? Healthy. We're going to have to step things up. So all of us now, if you're still with me and you're listening to this, you are going to be really feeling now that it is time to move up a notch. And I don't mean up level in a hyped way. I mean soul level. You are being called to move yourself up now, to let go of those old outdated ways. This could be your life, your business, or your mission. And it's to allow yourself to step it up. So for those of you who are similar to me, you've maybe got a business, you know that you're on a mission and you're helping, the planet and other people in some way, you are now being called, and this is what's coming in, is for you to ignite this next step, the next phase of yourself that you felt that was a lot further down, pulling it in now and actually activating that now. Become and step into that version now. You do not need to keep healing and working on that. You are also ready just to simply decide, ask for guidance, ask for your higher self to activate or clear you in whichever way. You can always reach out to me if you want to book a service or a session with me for assistance, but you can do this to understand that you are now being required. We're not speaking in urgency, but we are speaking in efficiency. So it's not hurry up or you'll miss the timeline. No one's missing the timeline, but this is a call to you right now to step it up. Do the thing that you know that you're supposed to do. Bring that next piece in. You've been sitting around, circling around it. So that's for you to really, really own it now and just step out and do it. For those of you who are still on the healing, I'm not saying still on the healing because we're all healing, but those of you who are focused right now, maybe you're not as outward as that and you're more inward and you're healing and you're shifting and you're moving. Guidance there is for you to really, really drop things, start to release, have the courage to let go, empty your hands of as much as possible. It may mean that you have to say goodbye to certain circles, situations, ways of being. You can release them with love. There is no loss, but it's to really help you just let go. You can step into the next phase now, and it can be quicker than you have believed it to be. So just keeping on, just allowing yourself to let things go, feel what you feel, let things go. You can cry, you can shout, you can feel whatever you feel, but just keep letting go, keep calling in support. And this is going to move you forwards, because when you do that, you're going to bring in the next pieces for your mission. This is all about moving us forwards. And then for those of you who feel, and there may be some of you that tune into this transmission, you're still here through all of this, listening to me. And if you feel like you're just at the beginning, and maybe you haven't done any kind of healing or any kind of inner work, and you've somehow been drawn to this transmission, interesting. This is no coincidence or accident. So you are being asked to just make some space. Tune into messages like this. Feel free to connect, with wherever I am online. make some space, get into a quiet place, start to tune out the outside world. It may be the first time you're doing it, or it might be after a very long time. It's really time to start quietening down. The louder and busier it gets out there, the more quiet you want to be, and then allow yourself to really just let things come to you, because you, my friend, are going to be on a bit of a journey. All right. So wherever you are, there is a lot happening. There's a lot happening. Um, this is not the time for stagnation. So whichever level you're at, and I work with people at all levels, by the way. So if you're, if you're wanting to book a session, particularly the sessions and the hypnosis sessions, the frequency shifts and the hypnosis timeline sessions, for any levels, like these are available whether you're at the beginning or whether you're more advanced. My other sort of in-depth higher level work is more geared towards the people that have been on this path for a while, and you're already walking the path. But those sessions are available for anyone that feels called to come in and work with me. But I'm here to assist, but know that that's just assistance. That's assistance. Nobody is stuck. There's no stagnancy. So if you can't invest in a session, or any of this kind of work, you're not stuck. Nobody's stuck. And this is the energy of really burning away any stagnancy. So I hope that you feel that in this transmission. Do not fall for those narratives. We are looking at what's happening. Yeah, it's bad out there. There's certain parts it's really quite grim and horrible, and maybe you're even worried about certain things, but that's okay. That's the human experience. But just because you see it, there are two types of people, right? The people that believe it when they see it, in which case they're going to have a very hard time, because you can't see this future timeline yet. You can't see this amazing higher frequency way of being right now, although you can tap into the frequency, right? But you're going to be stuck if you feel that way, because you're going to just wait. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. And when you're looking through that lens, you're never going to see it, because you're just literally looking at the wrong, not wrong, but the lower frequency version of that, right? Then there are people who believe it before they see it. This is how I am. Pretty sure this is how you are if you're still with me, however long I've been speaking. So this is the energy, right? We're going to believe it before we see it. We're going to believe it, and we're going to go beyond believing. We're going to know it. We're going to know, and we're going to remember that deep within our soul, we have a blueprint, we have coding, and you understand that you're here for a very specific purpose. Doesn't matter what your life has looked like. Doesn't matter what your job has been or not been. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter what's in your bank account. Doesn't matter whether you've been divorced 7 times. Whatever, you've fallen out with people, it doesn't matter. You're here for a specific reason. So your soul knows that you chose to incarnate on this very specific timeline, and that no other time in history have we had all of the structures all at once having an overhaul. And many of you understand and know, because you were here on the earth at a time when the frequency was so high. We had a lot of heartbreak as well. I'll talk about that in another separate video. But you were here, and you already know what it is to live on earth in these higher frequencies. You already know. It's why you get so frustrated when you see stupid things. Why can't humans just get it together, right? But they've been hijacked, they've been controlled, right? Really, really badly. So we're breaking out of that. So as we break out of that, we're going to see more and more and more and more and more. And we're going to have to just get really strong in ourselves and know that we're safe. Know that you're safe. Call in whatever it is that you connect with. God, source, doesn't matter the word, it's the same energy. Christ light, golden light, Christ consciousness, Christ light, whatever you want to call it. Call in your higher self. For me, it's always my higher self, which is connected to the Arcturian Council, connected to the angelic realm, connected to the entire dragon realm now, because they've come in. Very, very big energies around me now for the next phase of my mission, which I'll be sharing more as well. So call your teams in, even if you don't fully know who they are. Just call in light, call light into your body. And on that note, before I wrap up, I have got you can always check out my services on my website, theawakerevolution.com, and in the description I'll leave the link somewhere. But I'm doing healing, Arcturian and angelic healing spaces every month. So we've got 8 live events. They're happening on Zoom. If you can't make it live, totally fine. We have the replays sent out. But we're going to open up a space on Zoom where I bring these frequencies in. They're going to be such high frequency and activating spaces, different themes. So the first one we're doing, if you catch it in time, we are doing the first one in 2 days' time, Thursday, the 4th of September. And this one is the Arcturian and Angelic Healing Space, which is, if you're not sure which event to do, I would recommend this one, because this is where we'll just close your eyes and I'll get you connected in. I'll explain first what it is. I'll teach you what it is. And the healing space is where it's what I bring in my sessions when I work with people, but it's also a place that we can visit in the frequency. And you can bring in these beautiful healing frequencies for your body, physical body, mental body, emotional body, etheric body. We're going to do all the levels and you're going to feel beautiful when you've come out of that. And you can replay it and revisit anytime you want. And it's really teaching you how to connect very specifically to this frequency, because you may really resonate with either the Arcturians or the angelic realm or the dragons, or a combination of all of them or some of them, because we're bringing in all the energies, and they're very, very high frequency. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. So if you want to join me, those are, yeah, those spaces. We're doing that first one in 2 days, so they're $22 to attend, and we've got 7 other ones if that subject isn't quite what you want. So again, I will leave, wherever you're watching, there will be a link somewhere. If you can't find it, just go to theawakerevolution.com or send me a message if you really can't find it. All right, so that's it. I hope you felt those energies, and just reminding you not to buy into the current energies. The current energies are crazy. They're going to get crazier. We knew this before we dropped in. I want to remind you, even if you look at it and you pull your hair out, you as a soul knew that when you were going to be present on this earth, that you would be here for these things. So it's not really surprising on a soul level, but it might be freaking your human out a little bit. And that's okay. We're going to just send love to that part of you, right? And give yourself loads of love and compassion for however you're feeling, whatever you're moving through. Yeah, and feel free to let me know how you're doing if you want to drop a comment and just say hello, and I will check in afterwards. Okay, so thank you for tuning in and watching, and I'm cheering you on, and we'll speak very soon.